We're here with another edition of The Source Live in Fillmore, California with Keith Barnard from Mission Avocado. He's the Vice President of Sourcing for North America. Give me a little story about where we're at.
Today we're at Fillmore, California, at one of my family's ranches we call Barnard Fillmore. It's 110 acres, 60 acres of avos, 50 of lemons. The trees here are anywhere from 30 years old to 3 or 4 years old.
So does it matter the age difference of the trees? Do they produce the same amount of fruit, or how does that work?
Yeah, the younger ones seem to produce more. They have a little more energy. Each piece is bigger.
So when it comes to, you were talking a little bit before about on years and off years. Give me a little synopsis of that.
Yeah, so they're alternate bearing. So basically if they're holding a lot of pieces, they don't want to bloom. We tend to try to pick early to relieve the tree, so they don't have as much holding while blooming. So try to minimize the alternate bearing.
So now that we're 3 weeks into the production of California, how long does that season last?
This season's long. It can stretch through October. Growers don't need to pick really at all. They could wait until August. You know, they kind of play the market. Right now, growers got in early. The price was pretty high, started January. So we harvest anywhere from 800 to 1,000 bins, and this week we're down to 4, which is pretty rare to see, you know, a lull in harvest. Usually it's a bell curve, kind of goes up, peaks and comes down.
So Keith, when it comes to your farming practices, obviously innovation is important. This electronic valve, give me a little explanation of what you do here.
Yeah, so at Mission we take innovation seriously. We spend a lot of money on R&D. And right here, this is an electronic valve. Instead of, you know, waking up at 4 in the morning turning valves, the farmer opens up his phone, can turn this valve on, irrigate this block, that block, and can even inject fertilizer from his phone. We used to have like 26 valves in this ranch, and it would take us about 7 to 8 days to get around to every block. Now we can water every tree in about 2 days. So what that does is trees are like humans. They like to eat, you know, 3-4 times a day. Instead of the old way of farming, feeding everyone once a week, now we do it 2-3 times a week, and we actually fertilize every time we water.
Has it helped with the productivity of the plant, or the? Absolutely,
yeah. We're seeing about a 35% uptake in yields. And that's not setting pieces, it's just growing each piece. So we're adding 2 to 3 ounces per piece. Roots in avocados are only about 8 inches deep. So if you water, you know, 12 hours, it just goes right past it. Right now, we're just hitting those roots and maximizing water use.
So Keith, you're really close to the Thomas fire. Tell me how that impacted you.
Yeah, the fires in early December were pretty impactful. I think the total acres of avocados that they're saying was burnt was around 1,700 acres. We estimate that being anywhere from 20 to 30 million pounds as a hit off the whole California crop. That's anywhere from 5 to 10% of the total. You know, our original crop was about 400 million pounds. Now we're looking at 365, 370, somewhere in there.
So do you think that the other countries are going to fill the void when it comes to that?
Yeah, so I mean, California used to be a really big player, but with drought and, you know, home development, labor, regulations, water, it's kind of dwindled down. You know, 400 million was a big crop, but if you look at Mexico, they're looking at 2 billion plus. Peru's probably going to hit 600 million.
So Keith, with worldwide supply increasing, where does California fit in that mold?
Yeah, California is finding its niche as a locally grown avocado. It's very fresh, easy to hit the market in 2 to 3 days. We focus on Texas West to minimize freight cost. We also are very keen on export for California. A lot of countries like Korea look at it as a premium brand, kind of like Napa wines. So with the overall supply in California, we need to hit these niche markets to be sustainable.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Gabe.
And like before, if you have any questions or concerns, please reach out to ProAct, and we'll see you next time.